Hello. Um, I used to read a lot about like child psychology and child morals and like what they think. Mainly because it was a part of my research on human nature back in the day. But and I guess mostly because me and my wife we talk about children a lot and talk about a lot of things that we're not really gonna actually plan on doing, but we discuss them very seriously when we discuss like if our behaviors that we once had came into them and if the behaviors we still have would show up earlier. And that's terrifying. And so that's not why we're having kids, besides the economy and how the hell are we gonna afford a fucking kid? Anyways, um, I was kind of thinking of like Nancy Friday and trans affirmation. Yo, because I don't know how sexist it is, but in like her book, The Power of Beauty, she would talk about how like young, super young children, you have to be careful with the facial features you have and like expressing yourself with microaggressions. Like because she gave examples of like single parents, especially mothers, I guess. I shouldn't say especially because that sounds like essentialist, but like when you're changing them and you're grossed out and you're like ew and making gross and you're making faces like that, it's not good for them at the end of the day, I guess. um Supposedly they pick up on like what you think of what their body looks like, and it like down the line just it might cocoon that and make them insecure when they're older. And you know we kind of have this society where it's like, help the symptom, but don't do anything with like curing anything. And that's kind of like how we are with a society of binary and accepting trans, you know, um, because we don't really try to cure it with tolerance. Instead, we claim you are this way, or I, uh, I respect your wishes, or I respect your identity. But it can't we can't be saying that in such a hollow way. You know, kids can probably pick up kids and young, people that are transitioning in general can pick up on the half a bone that we're throwing them. And like, during the therapy session of figuring out if a kid wants to transition before they do the hormone stuff, they do therapy. Um, and if and once that experimental process is over, they return to the binary. I don't think it would be good to say stuff like, "Oh, you're returning to normal," or "Oh, you're growing out of it," or something like that, because that reverberates to the rest of the community. They hear you saying this, and it just sounds like at the end of the day, it's like a it's like a gotcha that they caught you on the fact that you didn't believe who they were. You know, these people. I'm just using an example where like somebody is finally like, yes, finally they're just binary, thank God, or something like that. Um, yeah, I really feel like we need to change it. Change the whole foundation, because we're throwing out like tolerance, but it's like, you know, it's kind of fake tolerance almost. I'm glad there's scientists that are like staying neutral about this, and I wish we were educated more about, um, you know, how the binary is. It's not that serious. We could, because then when kids come out, you wouldn't have to put on these microaggressions like the "oh, are you sure?" You know, that must feel really weird to people. So yeah, I don't know if it's problematic to police all of our language, you know, because I don't really know if trans people are like necessarily as sensitive as I'm making this video out to be. But it's mostly about like making kids comfortable about the society that's judging them. And, you know, I think it's kind of sad. All right, see ya.